Now this is a new on the channel, a Cooler Master monitor that is insane with the specifications, and when I get down and describe everything that you need to know about the specs of this one, you'll be shocked. Because right here we have Cooler Master Tempest GP27U. This is a 27-inch gaming monitor, 4K resolution, 160 Hz, 1 millisecond, quantum dot, and uh, there's so much. There's literally so much. So let's break it down and get into business when we're talking about this monitor. So first of all, I'm going to start with the visual aspect because not all monitors have such a visual design that looks quite outstanding, of course. So we have thin bevels, but to be honest, between the plastic edge and the actual screen starting, you do have, let's say, 5 to 6 millimeters of distance, and that goes around the left, right, and top edge. The bottom part is quite nicely designed, I do have to say, and a quite subtle Cooler Master logo right here in the middle right there. And of course the stand is in the same design shape of Cooler Master logo, which kind of brings us to the point where Cooler Master is trying to push subtly their logo everywhere, and I don't mind it because the stand compared to some others actually doesn't take that much space, and it's quite nicely designed. Now, of course, you can pivot it, you can tilt it, you can rotate it, and you can raise the height and adjust the height as you wish, because the stand really brings and gives you loads of possibilities when adjusting it on your setup. At the back, we also have on the stand, on the main part, you have a cable rerouting clip, or so to say, that can easily hold the cables and make it look nice when we're talking about cable management at the back of your setup. Now, since we're at the back of this monitor, I do have to mention that right at the back we have two LED lines, one going from the left to the middle, the one going from the right to the middle, and around the vest amount, which is 100 times 100, you also have quite nice LED design. I mean, of course, we're talking about the monitor and you won't be checking out the back, and unfortunately it doesn't have that strong brightness to actually light up the back part of the wall where you don't see from the monitor, right? But it's still some cool addition, I would say. Maybe if you switch off all your lights, it will definitely shine a bit, but not like giving you some immersion while gaming, watching movies, or anything similar to that, because it's just a RGB which you can adjust through OSD menu. And to finalize the back part of the monitor, we have in the middle right at the top a Cooler Master logo with lettering and the logo. So there's that. 3 Cooler Master logos, 2 subtle and 1 actually stating something which is barely visible. That's quite alright, I would say. Now let's go through the specs, because after all we are here to check that out. So 27-inch 4K or 3840 times 2160, 16:9 ratio, we have 160 Hz refresh rate, ultra speed IPS 1 millisecond, DCI-P3, dynamic overdrive, mini LED local dimming, quantum dot, 6-axis color adjustment, adaptive sync low blue light. Now, I just thrown you the main features that you can expect from this monitor, but we'll have to go into detail. So, panel is ultra speed IPS, 1.07 billion colors with quantum dot. You have contrast ratio 1000 to 1. Viewing angle is 178 degrees horizontal and vertical. Brightness 600 nits SDR and 1200 nits HDR peak. It's compatible with display HDR 1000. Color gamut Adobe RGB is 99% and DCI-P3 is 98%. When we're talking about connections, we have one DisplayPort, two HDMI 2.1, has one USB Type-C PD 90 watts, DP Alt and USB data, one USB 3.0 Type B, two USB 3.2 Type A, one 3.5mm headphone jack, and it has two speakers with 3 watts. So we have mini LED with 576 zones. VRR technology, it supports adaptive sync up to 144 Hz, FreeSync and G-Sync. It has overdrive technology, you can update the firmware via USB, and as already stated, we have S-mount 100 x 100 where you can mount it on additional arm or wall mount, it's all up to you to decide. So the height adjustment from 0 to 110 millimeters, tilt adjustment from -5 to +20 degrees, swivel adjustment ±15 degrees, and pivot adjustment from 0 to ±90 degrees. Now, because of the mini LED technology, local dimming zones are even smaller and they're even granular than before, let's put it this way. So with the local dimming activated, you can grab that brilliant HDR performance with contrast ratio 50,000 to 1. Now, using the quantum dot enhancement film, colors are definitely more vibrant, and you see this from a close-up, the pictures, the quality and everything, the colors are outstanding, and it can even emit more precise amount of light, which brings us to the point where we have stronger color reproduction and wider color gamut. This also brings us to the point where this monitor is actually perfect for color accurate work, so photo editing and similar stuff like that. Now, because of the mini LED improved display technology, it gives you more brighter whites and darker blacks, which also helps the HDR picture stand out a bit more with higher quality, of course. Now, it can reach 600 nits, as already stated, of peak brightness in SDR mode, or 1200 nits in HDR mode. And this basically gives you, let's put it this way, how the mini LED shows your favorite games, movies, episodes, or whatever in a bit different and a better light. So the HDMI 2.1 port is equivalent to 48 gigabit per second. So it supports consoles such as Xbox Series X, PS5 at 4K resolution, 120Hz refresh rate without the need of DSC, making it a future-proof monitor for, I don't know, consoles if you decide to go with, or you could go just simply with your PC, and you can stretch out to everything reaching out that 4K at maximum refresh rate, which is definitely outstanding. It has a built-in KVM switch, which means that you can easily control extra device such as a laptop, another desktop, tablet, or phone using just a single keyboard and a mouse. This is actually really good. Now let's jump into the OSD menu. Since we have 5 different color profiles or presets, in FPS games, you want to increase maybe black level stabilization. RPG games and movies, you'd rather prefer the black stay darker for more immersion. And you have the ability to choose from 5 different profiles to set them up additionally as you wish. So you have user 1, user 2, RTS, FPS 1 and FPS 2. To toggle the OSD menu, you have a joystick at the back, which gives you right at the top resolution. Is the sync on or off, HDR on or off, or OD on or off. You have the input select possibility, picture settings with picture mode, brightness, contrast, black stabilization, aspect ratio and sharpness. Then we have the color adjustment with color temperature, gamma, 6-axis color, color domain, color space, blue light filter, gaming setup, adaptive sync, overdrive, gaming plus, advanced, we have HDR, local dimming, HDMI range, KVM switch, USB charge standby mode, RGB lights, so you can adjust that, and system with language, OSD setup, auto adjust, information, power indicator, sleep, and USB upgrade. So you have a middle button here at the back for the OSD menu joystick. Then you can go left, right, up and down. It's really straightforward OSD menu. There's nothing too complicated with it, and it's really easy to navigate through it. You do have 4 Cooler Master logos on top of the OSD menu. It's like, we don't know, it's Cooler Master, right? But regardless of that, unfortunately the monitor doesn't have anti-glare coating, and further than that, the pixel density is 163 ppi. It doesn't support picture-in-picture, unfortunately. And comparing it to the Samsung Odyssey G7 that I have at the back, it doesn't have a remote control, it doesn't have smart, any type of smart accessibility when we're talking about Wi-Fi connection, installing applications and all the other stuff that you could usually have on a, let's put it this way, on a TV, but the G7 Odyssey has, this one doesn't. No picture-in-picture, unfortunately. But all in all, what I would say is that taking into consideration that we're having a nice 27-inch with a great stand, nice 27-inch monitor, which is overdrive, 160 Hz, 1 millisecond mini LED, quantum dot, and all the other specs. And when you take into consideration that this one costs around 600 euros, $650 compared to the Samsung Odyssey that, apart from the Black Friday deal that I got, it costs more than 800 euros. I think this one is actually quite nice catch, especially because of the quantum dot, 160, this is 144, and quite nice design, I do have to say. Picture quality, HDR, and everything else that I mentioned right here with this one is definitely better than the monitor right behind me, and definitely a suggestion if you're looking into something like this. Compare it to what I mentioned, this one is definitely taking the win, apart from the remote control and the smart TV access or smart monitor access with loads of applications that maybe some of you will want. I don't know, it's all up to you to decide with that part, but I'm saying this one is more affordable in terms of the price, but with higher quality picture and definitely better brightness, and the colors are just insane. So this was Cooler Master Tempest GP27U. You can check out the link in the description for more details, price, and everything else that you want to know. And finally, at the end of this one, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell for future content coming, as usual, daily. Thank you for sticking by. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.